I'm Betty. I'm 21 years old. I have been powerlifting for about 2 years now. In that time, I've been a national champ for 2 years, so 2023 and 24. Yeah, and I study physiotherapy. I think that's about it.
If you want, you can talk about something else also not related to training. But if you want to give a little bit of a broader presentation of yourself, it's fine.
Honestly, I just train a lot, and that's also where I get my joy from. Yeah, I like to meet up with friends. I like to go out sometimes, but usually doesn't really fit into my training schedule always. But in my off seasons, I like to eat a lot of food. I like to hang out with friends. I like to go to parties sometimes.
So if you love eating, that's why you choose powerlifting and not other other options. So
yeah, I couldn't do bodybuilding. I mean, I think it's a very cool sport, but I don't think I would be able to cut in my weight because I struggle a little bit to fit into the 63. So getting even more shredded will be pretty difficult for me, I think.
Oh, so that's interesting because you're already very lean. I saw some of your videos of your training videos and pictures. So you're already fit. It's not that much of room to cut anymore. So
no, I think I'm right at my limit here.
So I think we missed the important aspect of your presentation, the fact that you lift quite heavy. Last time I checked, you enjoy in particular deadlift, I suppose.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Will you mind talking about deadlift a little bit?
Yeah. So I think you've seen it already, but my arms are super long, so I'm very long limbed. If that's a word. So deadlift is really my good lift, and then my squat is pretty decent. My bench it's getting there. It's still pretty much a poverty bench, but I think with some more training, it's gonna get up there. Yeah, I think I've pulled 200 kgs pretty fast when I started training. And then after that, it kind of like gradually got a little bit better, but my starting point was already pretty high, I think.
Wow. How long ago?
I think I pulled it in my first competition like 2 years ago. And by that time I had been powerlifting for about 4 months, but before that I was also like I was training already, but not like powerlift specific. But I was also a little bit heavier. I think I was in a 69 class back then.
Okay.
So I dropped the weight class.
So just to make me understand very, very well. So you have been training for 4 months as a 19 years old, and you deadlifted 200 kilos?
Yeah. Wait, I had been powerlifting for 4 months. I had been training for longer, but not like squat, bench, deadlifts. More like fitness, bodybuilding style. Yeah.
For how long?
I think the first time when I got into the gym, I was 16. So I think 3 years from like 16 to 19. But then I wasn't really serious and I didn't have a coach. And I was training leg days like 5 times a week, like every day. Yeah, it's horrible. I had no structure. I had no like plan. I just wanted to get like big legs and abs and yeah.
And glutes.
And glutes, obviously.
Glutes every day.
Yeah, all day.
So when you start powerlifting, you were on your own. You did it by yourself, and in 4 months, your first competition. What was the result?
I think I started in like January. Then I got my first coach, and then we trained together for 4 months, and then we did our first meet together. So I started really powerlifting in January, and then trained for 4 months, and then then was my first meet.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
So how did it happen? I mean, why did you decide to switch from fitness and just going to the gym to powerlifting? What was the switching point, the turning point?
I don't think there was one particular switching point, but as I was training longer, I noticed that I was getting pretty strong. And I think I had a friend and we were like, yeah, we could totally get into powerlifting. We looked up the records and all the stuff and we were like, oh, maybe we could do it. She didn't turn out to be a powerlifter, but I did. So I was like, it might be a plan to like look up a coach so we can train together and maybe do a competition. Yeah, I think that's about it.
But have you ever noticed before starting powerlifting that you were way stronger than the average girl?
Not necessarily, but I did always have like pretty big arms. I've always been pretty muscular and pretty like strong. Yeah, but I didn't powerlift back then. I did soccer, like football, and I did athletics for a while, for a very short time. And I did notice that I was like pretty muscular, but I never thought about going into a sport that's like lifting heavy circles and getting stronger.
Well, but I mean, you were 16, 17, 18. You were training in the gym. There probably were there many other people and girls. You know, sometimes in the gym you lift, then you move apart, another person come there and lift. You can see that you lift way easier and way heavier than the other girls.
Yeah, I didn't really notice. Looking back
Come
now,
on,
I was
not
probably a bit stronger.
Kilos.
I was probably a bit stronger, but I was never like, whoa, I'm super strong. Like now I know that I'm pretty strong, but back then I had no clue. What was the standard or something.
And what about athletics? Did you practice anything specific or just general athletics?
Just general.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing special. I don't even think I did it for a year. It was only a few months, like a trial, and I started going with a friend and I was like, it's fun, but I don't think it's anything for me. I was very fast though, but nothing special in particular.
Yeah, I saw a joke of yours. I suppose I'm not remembering correctly, but you said something like, I played soccer, but I wasn't that good. I was just fast.
Yeah.
So you were fast.
Yeah, my technique was terrible, but when you're super fast, people think, oh, you're so good, but it's just, if you're fast, you can get through everyone and get to the goal quick. I don't think you need technique to do that.
So why did you stop with soccer?
Sorry, one more time?
Why did you stop soccer?
It was mainly because I wanted to get into the gym, because there was a friend who I played soccer with for a very long time, and I think she started going to the gym and she was like, why don't you join me for once? So I think I went to the gym with her for the first time, and pretty soon I was like, this might be something for me. And I didn't think I could combine soccer with like the gym very much. So I was like, I'm gonna quit soccer and then train more in the gym, so I still get my movement, my exercise in.
All right. So give me a little bit of time so I can translate in Italian, ok?
Yeah, perfect.
Ok, allora buongiorno ragazzi. Oggi qui, come vedete, ho come ospite Betty. Betty è una ragazza dall'Olanda che riassume un attimino l'introduzione che ha fatto di lei e un pochino di cosa abbiamo parlato fino adesso. Allora, lei diceva una ragazza di 21 anni dall'Olanda che gareggia nel powerlifting da quando aveva 19 anni. La sua prima gara l'ha fatta a 19 anni, quindi 2 anni fa. Nella categoria meno 63 kg, è particolarmente nota, diciamo, per lo stacco da terra. Infatti ha fatto delle prestazioni notevoli di stacco e forse non l'ha detto, ma ve lo dico io, ha fatto 220 kg di stacco da terra. Per una ragazza di 21 anni di 63 kg direi che è abbastanza impressionante, e infatti è campionessa nazionale da 2 anni di fila, sostanzialmente da quando gareggia. E abbiamo fatto un po' una storia introduttiva su come è stata la sua carriera sportiva agonistica anche oltre al mondo dei pesi. Allora lei viene dal calcio, faceva calcio prima da ragazza, poi ha fatto un po' di atletica generica senza nessuna disciplina in particolare, e mi diceva che comunque anche nel calcio è sempre stata molto veloce, molto esplosiva, e che era quello principalmente che le permetteva di far bene, mentre tecnicamente diceva a livello del calcio non è che fosse granché. Poi si è spostata nel mondo del fitness perché è stata portata da un'amica in palestra, si è appassionata dopo e ha iniziato in palestra a 16 anni. Ha fatto un po' di fitness generico, come spesso accade, mi diceva così scherzando che faceva gambe e glutei tutti i giorni e senza essere seguita da nessuno, faceva un po' così, insomma, diciamo a piacimento. E poi a 19 anni ha iniziato a dedicarsi al powerlifting e in 4 mesi, cioè dopo 4 mesi che ha detto ok, provo l'ostacolo, panca e lo squat, dopo ben 4 mesi, a 19 anni, ha fatto la sua prima gara e ha fatto 200 kg di stacco, giusto per darvi una prospettiva della forza di questa ragazza qua. Adesso dicevo il suo PR è 220. È molto forte anche sul resto, dopo parleremo un po' meglio dei dettagli degli altri numeri, però comunque di stacco per una ragazza così giovane che se ne ha così poco fa questi numeri sono qualcosa da far paura. Poi, come diceva lei, è molto portata anche a livello di proporzioni di leve per lo stacco, perché diciamo, è molto longilinea, ha le braccia molto lunghe, quindi ha un vantaggio meccanico lì, però non è che sia debole sul resto, assolutamente no, perché fa 175 di squat, quindi per darvi un'idea. Questa è un po' l'introduzione. So, what about the deadlift? How are you training the deadlift now?
I think I'm doing one main day.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm doing some triples and I have one other deadlift day. And on that day, I do some high rep, 5 reps, 5 reps of tempo deadlifts. Yeah, and I keep those very light because my recovery from deadlifts is pretty slow. I used to always deadlift once a week, but I really wanted to do it twice a week. So yeah, we make sure to keep the day pretty light.
Mm-hmm. So so you're training 2 days a week with the deadlift, and the first
Yep.
day is the heavy day.
Oh, sorry, I switched it around. No, the first day
Okay.
is the lighter day, and then the second day is an SPD day, so that's a little bit heavier.
Okay. So by the end of the week, you train an SPD day. Okay.
Yep.
And I guess on the heavy day, you're also doing singles.
Not always. It really depends on my block, because right now I have been doing triples for a very long time, and then tomorrow I have a heavier pull. So that's actually my first single this prep, and then I have a competition in 2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And how often do you practice heavy singles on deadlift?
It depends. It depends. When I'm closer to a competition, I usually do more singles, obviously. And then when I am like in my off season and when I'm longer out of a competition, I usually do triples. I haven't been working with my new coach for a very long time, but I used to do a lot of high rep work with my old coach, like 6-7 reps, and worked out pretty nice.
Okay. On both days?
No, I was deadlifting only one day.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So have you also tried more frequency on the deadlift before?
I think I did, like a pretty long time ago, but I just noticed that the more I deadlift, the less my recovery is, especially since I lift pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when it's RP 5-6, it's still a lot of weight. And then my SI joint starts to hurt, and my hips, my glutes start to hurt. So I noticed that less, with deadlifts for me, less is more.
All right, all right. Can you give me, if you can you give me a little bit of window of how many sets, a range of volume you usually practice?
Yeah. I think on my lighter day, so when I do the tempos, I do 2 times 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my main day, I usually do, it switches a little bit, but I do, I think 2 triples, and then one set with more reps, like 6 or 7 reps. But I think there have also been times where I did like 2 working sets for like 3 to 5 reps, and then a single after. So that's kind of like a fatigue single.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
And I suppose, correct me if I'm wrong, but the fatigue singles is something that you practice more, maybe a little bit more far from the competition. Instead, the other way around is more close to
Yeah,
the competition.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So I suppose you can practice the single in a fresher state before the competition, so you have a higher load on your hands. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Um, is the single RPE based or is something just
Um,
fixed?
yeah, it's usually RPE based, but I do get like a range. Sometimes I get a load cap for like I can go in between this and this weight, and sometimes I just get one particular weight, and then I can kind of look how I feel that day. I could do a little more or a little less depending on how strong I feel. So that's really, it's usually some kind of auto regulation.
Okay. And do you use the single, the top single, to decide the kind of weight you are using then on the volume sets or in the back off, or is something that is unrelated?
Yeah, no, it's usually related because on my back offs, I get a percentage based. So when I do the top set, when I do more weight, it's gonna be a heavier back off. And when I do less weight, it's gonna be a lighter back off.
Okay. Talking about the lighter day, the tempo day. So do you slow down also the eccentric phase of the lift?
No, just the concentric. Yeah,
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
concentric phase when I go up. When I
Okay.
go down, it's just regular speed.
Okay. Okay. And do you use straps for that variation?
Yeah. Yeah, I use hook grips. So when I do like 10 reps one day with
Ah,
hooks, my thumbs are gonna be done by the end of the week.
ah. Okay. So let me ask you something about your hands. Do you have any grip issues?
Uh I don't want to say it out loud too hard because I know I'm gonna curse myself by saying that, but I don't think I've ever dropped a bar in competition. I did have it once when I attempted to pull 220 the first time, so that one stung for a long time. But I don't think I've had any grip issues after that.
Okay, but let me guess, because my hypothesis is that you have very big hands. Usually, people with exactly with longer limbs like yours have also
Mhm.
big hands. So I guess you have strong and big hands.
It's actually, I don't think my hands are very big. They're not small either. I think I have average hands. I don't know.
Mm.
No, they're not super big.
Okay. Have you ever compared them with I don't know, your friend's hands?
Yeah, I think I just have regular hands. There's
Oh, regular
nothing
hands.
too
Hmm.
special. I think I
All
just
right.
grip very hard. Maybe my thumbs are long. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Because,
There is a possibility.
because there are many girls in your weight category that have issue with grips. With also they can't do hook grips because they don't have long enough thumbs.
Mhm.
But maybe they are these girls maybe are shorter than you. I don't know. I don't know your height.
Mm, I am pretty short, but I think yeah, the girls in the 63s aren't super long anyways. Tall anyways. I am 158 centimeters.
158.
Yeah.
Okay. 158. Let me do the math. Hmm. I think you are a little bit taller than average in your weight class, I suppose. In comparison to the elite level that you are, most of the girls at your level, or kind of your level, because you're stronger than most of them. I guess they are shorter than you. I'm doing the math now because I remember interviewing other girls, but they moved. Actually, they moved up in the 69, and they're maybe even shorter than you. I'm not 100%. Are you familiar with the Italian ladies, um, Sara Naldi, the
Yeah.
60? Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Insane.
was in the 63 before.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he's even shorter than you, or at least very similar, but she's in a
Oh.
heavier class.
Yeah, I think I've seen that like the more like really the elite level lifters, they're usually pretty short. Like the taller lifters, they usually move up a weight class so they can fill it out.
Hmm.
But I think I might be a little bit on the taller side. I've definitely seen girls shorter than me, but not necessarily taller than I am.
Yeah, in fact, most of the girls that I interviewed, I noticed that they have much smaller hands than yours, 100%. And they are more, how can I say, shorter limbs.
Oh yeah.
They are strong, of course. They have an advantage in
Yeah.
their lift, but in the deadlift sometimes they are impaired because of the grip. They have some troubles there. Okay. So you use straps? You told me you use straps on the variation day. Do you also practice post deadlift or something like that?
Not right now. I don't think I have done it this year, but I think I've done it like last year. That was the last time I did it. No particular reason, I think. Yeah.
And do you also practice the alternative style deadlift? You know, you pull sumo and conventional?
No, I've tried it, but I noticed with conventional, I have to like recover for a week at least, like a week and 2 days before my back is fresh again to deadlift again. So it might be something to build up, but right now I just noticed that when I do it, I lose more than I win because I have to recover this long.
But have you tried before to consistently train for maybe, I don't know, a month or two?
I gave up after like 3 weeks.
Fuck it, who cares?
I don't want to do it.
I don't need that shit. Come on.
No, I like deadlifting so much that if I do conventional, I have to do it once a week. And then the recovery from 1 week is still not enough. So I really want to deadlift more often.
Okay. And do you remember the amount of weight you used to move in the regular deadlift?
Regular.
Conventional, sorry.
No worries. I think my max is 180, which I've done maybe 2 months ago. Nay, less. 1 month, 1.5 months ago. And it was a max out. I was like, I'm just gonna do conventional for once just to see how it moves. And then 180 moved slow. It was heavy.
It moves slow and for a long way.
Yeah, the range of motion is not fun.
Did you feel like your back was the limiting factor?
Yeah, definitely. It's always my low back because since I pull since I pull sumo, my torso is pretty upright. When I pull conventional, it's like almost fully like horizontal. So my erectors have to work very hard there since my torso is also super short. So my leverages are really not ideal for conventional.
Okay. And you don't feel like your back is limiting in your sumo?
If I feel a weight, I do feel like my back are the first thing to give out. My back is definitely a limiting factor in deadlifts.
Does your back round a little bit during your max attempts?
No.
No.
Because when it does round, I'm not going to be able to lock it out. I really need to pull with a straight back. So when I pulled off the floor and I noticed that my back rounds, I could pull as hard as I wanted to, but I'm never going to lock it out.
All right. So give me a little bit of time so I can translate it, all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Ok, allora abbiamo parlato un attimino dello stacco adesso che vi ricordo lei ha di 220 di massimale in sumo, che tra l'altro credo sia il record del mondo, di junior. E lei si allena 2 volte a settimana con lo stacco. La prima seduta della settimana è quella un po' più leggera, che fa sostanzialmente un po' più alte ripetizioni, e per alte ripetizioni ha badato bene di specificare 5, che per noi sono alte, e tendenzialmente fa una variante. In questo caso sta facendo il tempo deadlift, cioè uno stacco con la concentrica più lenta. L'eccentrica lo molla giù, non fa anche l'eccentrica lenta, fa solo la concentrica lenta. con schemi tipo 2x5, cose di questo tipo. Non fa molto volume, nel senso tendenzialmente si allena a medio-basso volume, perché mi diceva che lei lo stacco comunque ha delle difficoltà col recupero, deve stare un po' attenta a non esagerare sia col volume sia con la frequenza. In passato infatti faceva solo uno stacco, adesso ne fa 2 e ha visto che comunque deve dosarlo con cura perché ci vuole tempo per recuperare. Dicevo, nel giorno più leggero, che è il primo giorno della settimana, fa il tempo, stacco tempo, altre ripetizioni, tipo 2x5. Usa le fascette in questa variante qua perché lei si allena con la presa a uncino e quindi in questi casi tendenzialmente si usa le fascette per non morire. E nell'altro giorno, che è un giorno che fa SBD, quindi fa diciamo, la struttura classica tipo simulazione di gara, la fa nel secondo giorno, quindi alla fine della settimana. In questo giorno qua c'è lo stacco quello più pesante, che a seconda di quanto vicino alla gara, comprensibilmente fa un lavoro più o meno specifico, quindi può essere che vicino alla gara faccia più spesso singole, tendenzialmente regolate da RPE, mentre mai più lontano dalla gara faccia per esempio delle triple o cose di questo tipo. Uno schema classico che può usare è un 2x3, e a volte mai c'è un set di back-off. Come prevedibile, lei fa mai un top set basato circa su un RPE che comunque ha un range fisso all'interno del quale stare, nel senso che non è completamente libero, ma il suo allenatore le dà già una finestra entro il quale passare, di carico intendo. Dopodiché da quello si stima il lavoro dopo di volume, che comunque è molto basso perché parla tipo di 2 serie o una di back-off, cose di questo tipo. Ehm, Giusto per darvi un'idea, lei il regola sostanzialmente non lo allena più di tanto, l'ha provato qualche volta, ma ha detto che la stancava molto, li limitava tanto il recupero e sostanzialmente le avrebbe decisamente ridotto la capacità di far volume e di far frequenza con l'allenamento, e siccome ci tiene a fare più stacco, più spesso, diceva che secondo lei il gioco non valeva la candela e in più lo sentiva anche abbastanza sulla schiena. Per darvi una prospettiva, lei ha fatto una singola con 180 di stacco regular e di summa 220, però non l'ha mai allenato più di tanto in maniera, diciamo, nel tempo costantemente il regola, quindi da portare avanti la progressione, cioè semplicemente ha provato un po' di volte così, ha visto che si stancava a manetta e che la faticava molto la schiena, che ci voleva un'intera settimana per recuperare e tornare a livello di freschezza della schiena, e quindi ha lasciato perdere. Poi abbiamo parlato un attimino delle mani, delle sue proporzioni. Lei appunto ha il busto corto, le braccia molto lunghe, che chiaramente le dà un vantaggio nello stacco. Poi vedremo purtroppo le conseguenze nella panca, ma per adesso parliamo di stacco, è fantastico. E ha le mani che io pensavo fossero più grandi di quello che lei dice, invece ha detto che le mani sono secondo lei più o meno di dimensione normale, mentre io immaginavo più grandi, perché spesso e volentieri persone con queste proporzioni qua hanno anche le mani grandi, infatti non hanno dopo mai problemi di presa che hanno altre persone un po' più breveline. Lei per adesso problemi di presa zero, però dice che le mani non è che siano particolarmente grandi. E da lì siamo partiti a fare un confronto con altre ragazze più o meno delle stesse categorie di peso, che tendenzialmente sono un po' più basse di lei, un po' più brevilinee, e però hanno spesso problemi di presa. Poi può anche essere che lei abbia semplicemente le mani molto forti, una presa molto forte, però rispetto ad alcune ragazze di sicuro lei è un po' più alta, con le braccia un po' più lunghe e con le mani un po' più grandi. Perlomeno soprattutto di ragazze brevilinee o comunque con le proporzioni più tipiche italiane. Lei, per darvi un riferimento, è alta 158 cm e gareggia nella 63, fa già un po' fatica a stare dentro la 63, perché ha detto che insomma deve stare attenta, deve tagliare un attimo di peso. È probabile che più va avanti la sua carriera, più si troverà in difficoltà con questa, ma cambierà categoria, forse anche per far salire le altre alzate. So, have you
Such
ever
a
thought?
beautiful language.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you
it
think
sounds
so?
really, really nice. No
Oh.
clue what you said, but it sounds nice.
I just repeat what you said.
Yeah.
I hope I could remember everything. That's fine, because I take some notes here,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
otherwise I will be dead. But so, have you ever thought about moving up your weight class?
Yeah. Thinking about it right now.
Oh, really?
Because
Oh,
the weight
I forgot you enjoy food.
yeah, I really do. No, the weight that I sit comfortably at when I'm just eating normal is around 66 right now. but that means I have to cut down about 3 kgs every competition. Yeah, and if you want to be as strong as you can, it might not be the best plan to cut down every competition. But I do think that there's still a lot that I can achieve in this weight class. And since I'm still a junior this year and next year, I think I want to stay in the 63 so I can maybe grab some records. And then after, I'm going to move up to the 69s in the open class.
I don't remember exactly the 69 open record in the deadlift. I think it's from Leah, from the French girl, maybe.
It's actually been broken this World Championships by, I think her name is, I hope I say it right, Joy Namani from
England.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think she added like half a kg. She chipped it and then she added like half a kg or 1 kg. So I think it's 231 and a half now, if I'm right.
I think it's in your range.
I think so. I hope so.
I think it's in your range because my prevision is that you can deadlift something similar to that already in the 63 in about a year, maybe.
Yeah.
So if you move up, you can deadlift more for sure.
I've actually pulled 240 already in the gym.
Already?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
No worries.
Oh.
No. That was a very good prep. That was last prep. Yeah. So I really hope that I can break the open world record as a junior. That's really a goal of mine. So I'm gonna really fight to make that happen.
I will tell you something about me. You have no idea how much it took me to reach 240 on the deadlift. It took me years.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, I can deadlift more now, but to reach that level, I wasn't 21, I wasn't a girl, and I wasn't 63 kilos.
Wow.
And I failed many times before.
Oh, wow. What do you deadlift now?
Oh, only 260.
Oh, wow. Only 260.
Well, but
that's quite a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight.
Yeah, but it took me a long time, and I wasn't just casually, I will try deadlift 200 kilos at 19. It wasn't like this.
Yeah.
And I was heavier than you. So, well, this is life. So, the plan for you, as I remember correctly, is to stay as long as you can in the weight class, so you can achieve some more records, which is well far in your reach. And maybe then, if you're in troubles, maintaining the weight class, so the plan is to move. Do you think also, apart from the deadlift, do you think you will gain some strength in the other lifts moving up?
Yeah, bench, definitely. Right now, I've noticed that at every bulk I did, talking about only this year, because I'm right now, my maintenance, I'm eating a little bit over maintenance calories. This is the second time I've done that this year, and my bench has gone up from the beginning of this year till now about 20 kgs, which is pretty much for me, because bench has always been a very difficult lift for me. But I do think the higher body weight really contributed to those bench gains. And squat, I think the same for squat. I've gained like 20 kgs on squats as well from the beginning of the year till now. And I'm about 4 kgs heavier than I was before. So I really think that the higher body weight's helping for the gains.
Yeah, for sure. I think the same. Also, I think you are in a very lucky position because, generally speaking, the deadlift is the one that is less influenced by body weight. So, since you are already very strong and well built for deadlift, and you need to, how can I say it in a correct way? You just need to put the other lifts at the level of your deadlift, and by moving up your weight, the other lifts are affected in a positive way, much better than the deadlift. And I think it's a way more favorable position for you because the other way around is much harder to deal with. Because let's say you are very poor built for deadlift. If you gain weight, your deadlift doesn't go up that much.
Not necessarily, no.
You know, and the deadlift is a big part of your total, so this helps a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
think I'm quite lucky in the position that I am right now. But then I do think my bench and my squat really need to like go up because they're pretty mediocre compared to my deadlifts.
Come on. If you call 175 kilos squat, I saw, which is kind of around the world record for junior. And how can you call that mediocre? How can you call that not a great squat? Come on.
Yeah, I think I just compare everything to my deadlift, but my deadlift is kind of up here, and then the rest is like, it's decent. It's not super special, but maybe it will get there one day.
Okay, so what do you do to cut the weight for the competition?
When the weeks like leading up to the competition, I start eating a little less, so I get a little bit into a deficit, so I lose a little weight, and then I cut down to about 64.5 till 65, so I can do the rest by gut cut and a water cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do the classic procedure by water loading and then cut the water the day before?
Yeah, right. I hate it so much. I really hate it. It's one of the reasons that I can't wait to go up a weight class, so I don't have to do it anymore.
But my prevision is, as many other girls before you, they start by saying like this: "Oh, I will move to the next weight category, so I don't have to deal with that shit anymore." But then they feel the weight class, and they do the same things, but at a higher body weight. So it doesn't change shit. You just have a couple of years of good life, and then it's the same.
Yeah, that's right. It would be so nice to have a weight class where you can comfortably sit in and maybe gain a little bit, where you don't have to do a aggressive weight cut every competition.
And they changed the weight class recently, because before they were very different in the female division. So which is now is already way better than before.
Yeah, I think there was a 72 weight class, so the 67 has been divided by, I'm not sure. There was just a 72 weight class, but I think they shifted a little bit.
There was, I think it was 63, 72, and then 84, something like that.
Yeah.
Which is already a problem, because in my opinion, plus and minus 84, come on.
Yeah.
From 84 to whatever, come on.
Yeah, I think it's way too. I think there really should be like something in the 90s, another weight class, or maybe 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Because when you're taller, like I don't have that problem, but women of like 170 centimeters or 175 centimeters, they kind of have to fit in the 84s. But if you're taller and you weigh more, it's a very big disadvantage.
Yeah. You basically have no choice but do a very aggressive weight cut, which is going to be a problem, or fight with people that is 100 kgs over your body weight, because they are like double your size. So come on, that's unfair.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, I think it will be also much healthier for many people, because I'm referring to adding a new weight category, because if they don't feel the pressure to gain that much weight because they're just over 80 or something, let's say they put I don't know, 95 class or 100 class, so you can stay in that range without needing to force feed yourself to reach, I don't know, 120 kilos or something crazy like that.
Exactly. I do think it's way better on the men's side, because they have like the 83s, the 93s, the 105s, and the 120s. So even if you're taller, you don't have to force yourself into a weight class, because there are way many options.
And outside of IPF, there are federations that have different weight class for men, but are way better in my opinion, because they have the 90 kgs, the 100k, 110, and 125, and then 140, something like that. There are plenty
Oh
of
wow.
them, which is
Yeah.
way better, way better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It is like this. All right, let me translate everything, all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Ok, allora abbiamo parlato un attimino di categorie di peso. Come dicevo, lei è 1,58 m, fuori gara sta circa sui 66 kg, dopo deve rientrare nella 63. Dicevamo già prima che fa un po' fatica a rientrare nella categoria, nel senso che è abbastanza magra, già non ha molto da perdere, quindi deve stare un po' attenta. Tendenzialmente quando si avvicina alla gara, prima fa il classico deficit calorico ad arrivare dai 66 che sta fuori gara a 64,5, mi diceva, e dopo fa il classico scarico dei liquidi dove prima bevi molta più acqua del normale e poi la tagli tutto su un colpo appena prima della gara, in modo da disidratarti, e dopo fa anche con l'alimentazione fa quello che tante volte si chiama gut cut, cioè sostanzialmente modifica alcune cose nella dieta, senza entrare nei dettagli, dove sostanzialmente si svuota un po' l'intestino e quindi ha meno massa di roba, chiamiamola così, dentro sull'intestino, e più di qualche volta è sufficiente per perdere un po' di peso, dipende da cosa mangiavi prima e da quanto pesi in totale, però si può arrivare a perdere anche abbastanza, così anche 1,2 kg su persone più pesanti. Tendenzialmente lo si fa tagliando un po' le fibre o modificando alcuni cibi che mangi che comunque hanno meno volume, e cose di questo tipo. Poi abbiamo parlato un attimino di eventualmente spostarsi su una categoria di peso più alta, come la vede, se ci stava pensando, eccetera, e mi diceva che sì, prima o poi probabilmente sarà costretta a farla, sia perché le fa schifo, come a tutti, tagliare il peso ogni volta per entrare in categoria e tutte queste robe qua, sia perché appunto non ha tantissimo margine di peso per continuare a crescere all'interno di questa categoria. Lei in questo momento giustamente sta dando la priorità a cercare di prendere i record possibili in questa categoria di peso, sia perché è junior, sia perché effettivamente è ben capace di farli i record adesso, perché io non lo sapevo, colpa mia, ma ha fatto anche 240 di stacco, non ha fatto solo i 220 che vi dicevo prima, ma ha fatto anche 240, non in gara, ma li ha fatti. Quindi per darvi una prospettiva, lei è ben oltre il record attuale nella sua categoria per i junior, ma con questi 2,40 prenderebbe anche il record della categoria superiore open. Quindi sostanzialmente siamo sicuramente nel range in cui può giocarsi i vari titoli anche nella categoria di peso superiore. Però giustamente dice: finché posso resto in questa categoria, prendo quello che posso ed eventualmente poi mi sposto avanti. Mi diceva, come prevedibile, che quando lei prende qualche chilo in off season si sente meglio e la sua forza migliora, e quindi sa bene che probabilmente Cialindo avrebbe un vantaggio. Poi abbiamo parlato del fatto che sostanzialmente, secondo me, lei è in una posizione fortunata a livello di caratteristiche antropometriche, perché essendo molto portata per lo stacco, avendo le leve per lo stacco, tendenzialmente lo squat e la panca sono quelli che un po' ne soffrono, però salendo di peso lo squat e la panca migliorano di solito molto, mentre lo stacco è meno influenzato dal peso. Se fosse messa al contrario le sue proporzioni, cioè se lei fosse creata con delle proporzioni che la mettono in difficoltà con lo stacco, a salire del peso non hai lo stesso tipo di beneficio, e quindi è molto più conveniente per lei essere così, anche perché sostanzialmente lo stacco è tipo metà del totale, quindi aiuta decisamente di più per vincere. Questa è un po' la situazione categorie di peso e quant'altro. Ok, so you told me before that you're a student of physiotherapist, right?
Mhm.
Physiotherapy, sorry.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to go that path?
I actually did life science before that. It's a 4 years
Sorry, you did what?
life science.
Life science, all right.
So it's like a lot of lab work and a lot of biology. So I did that for about a year and a little bit, like a year and a half. But then I realized I didn't really want to do it. And by that time, I was also getting into powerlifting a little more. So I really wanted to do something that was a little bit like, how do you say it? Like it fits together. That's not the right term, but
No, that's fine.
So yes, I had already been debating on studying physio for a longer time, but then I started getting into powerlifting a lot more, and I was like, yeah, this probably is the right fit. So yeah, then I started physiotherapy.
All right. And how does it work there in your country?
So it's a 4-year bachelor. And then afterwards you could maybe like specialize into another branch. Like you could do a master. Yeah, you just have mainly practical lessons, and then you also have like the thing where you sit in a lecture. Then you also have some lectures, but it's mostly practical. And internships as well.
All right. So what about the option in the masters after your 4 years?
I think you could get into sports therapy or sports physiotherapy, which is very nice, which is something I might want to do, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of different sorts of physiotherapy.
What about sports science or exercise science? I don't know the name in your country. Is it something separated, different from physical therapists? Completely different?
I think it's different. It's pretty different, but when you do physio, I really think you have some sort of advantage by doing that, because you already have the knowledge about the body and like movements and that kind of stuff. But it's also possible. I think it's a master's degree as well. So you could do
so it's a master after physio.
Yeah, I'm not sure though. I'm not completely sure, but I think it's a master.
Oh, that's interesting, because here in Italy it's very different. The exercise science and physiotherapy are two different ways, two different paths, completely separated. Then, of course, if you do one, you can then move to the others, and you have an advantage, as you said, because some of the subjects you already studied. But there are two completely different paths, and they are 3 years each. But I was speaking with a Brazilian girl just yesterday about this kind of stuff, and in Brazil, and I hope I'm not wrong here, because I could be wrong, but for what I understand, in Brazil, you first do a big how can I say it? It's like a master for you. You first do something, and then you have a big amount of options from which you can choose. And one of them is exercise science. It doesn't exist exercise science by itself, but you do something first, which is usually physio in Brazil, and then you can choose exercise science or osteopathy or something else. It's very different.
That's very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also nice. I do think when you have some sort of system like that, it really makes sure that you already have the knowledge, so you have less dropouts, because people they're interested anyways. Yeah. That's cool.
And how is it going so far?
It's going pretty. It's going pretty good.
No. You didn't look so confident to me, but I take it as it is. It's going great.
That was not a confident answer. No, I just finished like one of the last assessments last Friday. So that's that's yesterday. Is it yesterday? That's yesterday. Which went pretty good. Yeah, I just have the problem of procrastinating a lot. So I just wait till the last moment, and then it gets too much. But I did like pass everything this year so far.
Good job.
I have one more thing, which has to be graded, but after that I'm done for this year.
You know something, I often think that if a person who is studying something like physio also trains, that if that person trains in the same time, I think it's a big advantage for your profession, because when you see then a patient, you can also understand what it means to do some exercise, to have that pain, to especially if you work with athletes, but not only with athletes, but also in general population, even sedentary people. You can show them exercise, you know how it is, you know how the waist works, and this kind of stuff. I think it's a big advantage for you.
Yeah, definitely. I do think, because I also used to work as a personal trainer. I don't anymore. But I just noticed that since I work as a personal trainer, and train, and I study physio, I can really combine those things. So you do have a big advantage, and it's also easier to think about like easy exercises for people that are not really that don't have any experience in sports. Yeah, it does make everything much easier.
Why don't you work as a personal trainer anymore? If I may ask.
Yeah, no, I think it was mainly I was looking for something else, and also I wasn't really agreeing with the amount I got paid. I felt like I was getting a little I wouldn't say
exploited.
Scammed,
exploited.
Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, so I was like, so I had a conversation with my boss about maybe getting paid more, and he was like, yeah, no, and I was like, okay, bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
that's not a new story.
No. Yeah, I am gonna start getting into coaching. So it's also all has to do with sports, so that's also something I do have a little bit of experience in. But I haven't really started yet, so that's gonna come.
It's frustrating because I hear you, I feel you, what you're saying, because we had the same problem here in Italy. We complain about this kind of problems in working in the gyms. But in a sense, it's a relief to understand that it's the same in every country in the world. So,
yeah, I think that's a problem more people have.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. But you're investing on your future now. You're studying, and so you will have a different work life in the future for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you can also link together and combine the coaching and maybe programming and powerlifting coaching with your profession, so you have both worlds at the same time. It's interesting.
Yeah, there was a Dutch physiotherapist who's also he lifts weights. He is a physio, so he has a lot of like knowledge about all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of powerlifters that go to him, and that's something that really inspired me. So I'm thinking of maybe going into the same direction a little bit, so I can help powerlifters, while also having knowledge about powerlifting and also being a physio. Because I noticed now that as a powerlifter, when you go to the physio, there's a lot of physios that just tell you to stop lifting because it hurts, or they tell you to go super light. But I really think there is much different ways to work around injuries, but there's just a regular physio doesn't understand that.
Yeah, that's what I meant before. I mean, this is a big advantage for you because you know both sides of the coin, so you can understand better athletes. You can give them advices on how to deal with the pain and how to change and modify their training so they don't have any pain. This is a big thing because I don't want to go to a physician or anybody that take care of my health and I say, hey doctor, I have back pain. What should I do? Stop deadlifting. That's it.
Yeah, it's something you hear too often, but I really think it's just so. Yeah, I don't think that's a good way to approach that kind of injuries or things in general.
But I think you can change the things there, especially if you're going to be a well-known athlete at an elite level, and at the same time you are suggesting your patients to deadlift for their health and such things. They will see that you're healthy and you're deadlifting and you know what you're talking about, and it's a different thing. It's very different if the person that is advising you on doing something is doing the same thing as well at the same time. It's very different.
Yeah, exactly.
They are going to trust you much more.
Yeah, that's also something that I'm kind of like. I think it builds a lot of trust when you, like you just said, when you do the sport and someone asks you about advice on that part. Yeah, that's something I really want to do.
Also, I think there are things that you can only understand that if you're training. For example, the kind of pain the patient comes there at your office and say, I have pain this, doing that. If you already have been dealing with that kind of stuff, and you know how it feels to bend down, have the pain while you're lifting something, and you know that you have to modify the lifting setup, or you have to modify this exercise, or you know that it helps doing something else, some different rehab protocols. You can understand way better what the patient is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Ok, give me a moment so I can translate it.
Yeah.
Ok, abbiamo parlato un attimino del suo percorso di studi, perché la sta portando avanti, la carriera universitaria in questo momento. Sta facendo fisioterapia, che in Olanda, lei vive in Olanda, sono di 4 anni. Dopodiché può scegliere se fare un master, se fare qualcosa in un secondo momento, però sostanzialmente abbiamo parlato di come questo suo portare avanti la carriera agonistica, soprattutto a livello elite, sollevare pesi eccetera, e fare anche fisioterapia contemporaneamente sia un grosso vantaggio, perché le permette poi un domani di fare anche molto meglio la sua professione di fisioterapista, perché appunto conosce il mondo dei pesi, conosce gli esercizi, frequenta l'ambiente, si fa anche, diciamo, ambasciatrice di quello che spiega e insegna, perché le persone possono vedere che pratica e mette in prima persona in atto quello che dice, quindi ha una credibilità decisamente diversa, e anche un po' per cercare di cambiare quello che purtroppo è la triste realtà in tanti casi, cioè persone che magari visitano un atleta che fa pesi perché ha un dolore e gli dicono semplicemente di smettere di fare pesi, o di smettere di fare, non so, hai male alla schiena, buon, smetti di fare stacco e squat, che ovviamente si può fare decisamente meglio di così, e è importante però conoscere anche il mondo dei pesi per poter gestire queste cose con coscienza. Abbiamo fatto un po' di paragoni appunto di come funziona la fisioterapia, di come funziona il percorso di studi eccetera, però sostanzialmente il succo del discorso è questo. So, since you are studying physio, you are very well prepared on that. Will you mind talking about injuries?
I am actually, I wouldn't say injured. I have knee pain, which I've been dealing with for about, I think, 3 months. It's not too severe to the point that I can't lift anymore, but it's definitely bothering me. And since it started coming up when I made a lot of gains in a short amount of time. So I just think it's like overused a little bit. So I'm not actually doing any quad movements right now. I haven't done for the last 2 months, I think. So I cut out all leg extension, Bulgarian split squats, like all variations where you have to use my quads. And now I just do some isometrics. So like an isometric split squat to kind of load the tendon without agitating it too much. And I don't really feel like it's getting any better, but it's also not getting any worse. So I'll take it. It's fine.
Okay. So do you think it's due or caused by maybe squat? Could be.
Yeah, I think so. It was one particular, my knee felt weird after I did one squat. But then I was like, it's probably nothing. It's just a little bit. It's a little sore, but it's probably nothing. And then the next day I still had it, and the next day I still had it, and I still had it, and I was like, oh.
It's always like that. It's always like that.
Yeah, it's
thing always like that. Yeah, a little bit of pain here, nothing major. I can bench again. The next day, maybe a little bit more this time.
Yeah.
And I'm off later. Oh.
It's exactly like that. And now, it's just not going away. It's not getting any worse, but I do feel it flaring up every time I do squats or every time I load my knee in a certain way. So that really sucks. And that's an understatement. It really, really, really sucks.
Do you squat with the heels?
Yeah.
Oh, have you tried without the heels? For the knee, I mean.
I have not. But I do know it's impossible for me to hit depth without heels. So I don't think that's an option. But after my next competition, I might discuss with my coach if there are other options, maybe like switch up my stance or something, because I'm too short. It's too little time to my comp to switch things up now.
Of course.
But I really want to get rid of the pain. So I hope I find something that works.
Have you tried anything as treatment-wise or therapies or something?
Actually not. So I've only been doing those isometrics. And since it's not actually getting worse, I'm kind of like,
okay, let's do the competition and then let's see.
Yeah. And then after competitions, I'm gonna do everything to make it go away, because I have worlds after and I really want to do something nice there.
All right. What about other injuries, maybe back or something? Because you talk about SI joint before.
Yeah, that's something I deal with pretty often actually, but it's like it comes and goes. It's usually when I get closer to a competition and the weights go up, I do feel my SI joints. But usually after the competition, when the weights go down again and when I deload, it's kind of gone. But it's not bad enough for me to stop lifting or bad enough for me to be limiting my load. So I don't really see it as a problem. And then my shoulder is also something, same with the SI joint. It's kind of always there, but it's not too bad. And I can still like train.
May I ask you something about your shoulder?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it's caused, or maybe just in part caused by the low bar position of the squat?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because, sometimes people with very long limbs like yours have some discomfort in the low bar position. You're not the first one. Maybe they don't feel in the moment, but they feel the next day or doing the bench after.
Yeah. I haven't really thought about that. It might be possible, but I'm not sure since I don't really have any discomfort while low bar squatting. Like sometimes you have people that complain about their wrists hurting because of the bar position and stuff. But I'm not sure if it's caused by squat. I do always feel it after bench, especially when I go a little heavier. But I think it's maybe some sort of impingement issue. I've had it for like over 2 years now, so I really don't know.
It's very tricky, as I told you before, you're not the first one that complains about these things, because the disadvantage of being long-limbed is the fact that then other lifts are way more uncomfortable, because you have much more range of motion in the shoulder extension phase of the bench, and especially the low bar position, you're so tight under because this lever is very long. So, but sometimes people find it relieving to use the safety bar, maybe in the off season, the safety squat bar. I don't know if you ever tried.
I've never tried it, but I do really I've never heard someone like it. Everyone hates it, but it might be an option. Yeah, maybe in the off season.
It's very tough because it's humbling in a sense, the safety squat bar, but sometimes it can be useful because you also focus on other things, and you have a little bit of relief in your shoulders and neck and such things. I don't know. I will never dare to tell you what to do. Of course, you have a coach and you're way stronger than me. But just talking, just chatting.
Yeah. No, I do think it's a pretty nice idea, because I think a lot of people get injured because they do a lot of the same movements for a very long time, and it's kind of gets because of the repetitiveness, you always load the same ligaments, the same muscles. But a small change, such as switching one of your low bar sessions to a safety bar, of doing conventional instead of sumo, sometimes can really help to like prevent those injuries. So I think it's a good plan.
I 100% agree with you in regard to the overuse injuries in powerlifting, because I guess the main problem in powerlifting is the fact that you're only doing the same 3 things for most of the time. You are forced to do that. There's no way around that. So after a while, you're always beating in the same angles, at the same tissues, in the same manner, in the same loads, in the same stance. Everything is the same for a bunch of time. And after a while, if you don't manage the recovery correctly, you start to develop a little bit of injuries that they grow and grow and grow. And as you told me before, with the knee, it was a little bit weird after a squat, and then we keep squatting, and this is the problem. Sometimes I find it very, very helpful to switch just a little bit the stance or something, that the angles are different, the involvement of the muscles and tissues are a little bit different. That's enough.
Yeah. Now, I do really think you have to like load your muscles in different positions, because always squatting the same way, it's gonna, especially when you go heavier, when you're at a higher level, it's really gonna cause some problems in the long run.
So apart from these, I would say, minor things, have you ever had any major injuries or something bad?
No, I'd like to keep it that way. But no, I've never really had a major injury.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Betty, do you have anything more you want to
add? No, I don't think so. No.
Would you like to talk about something specific, or?
Let me see.
Oh, let's do this way. You think it for a moment. Meanwhile, I'm gonna translate.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good plan. Yeah.
Ok. Allora, abbiamo parlato un attimino di infortuni, di dolori e problematiche varie col suo allenamento. Allora, sostanzialmente lei sta bene, non ha mai avuto grossi infortuni, questa è la cosa più importante, non si è mai fatta male veramente di quelle cose brutte. In questo preciso momento ha un fastidio al ginocchio, diciamo non grave, non serio, però che va avanti da un po'. E lei pensa che sia da sovraccarico cronico, come purtroppo succede quasi sempre nel mondo dei pesi. Dopo una seduta di squat pesante ha iniziato a sentire un po' strano il ginocchio, e da lì si è un po' riaggravato nel tempo, quindi ha tolto un po' di complementari di quelli che usano tanto il quadricipite, quindi squat bulgaro, roba di questo tipo, leg extension li ha tolti. E si è limitata a fare lo squat principale, perché non l'ho detto prima, mi sono dimenticato, ma fra 2 settimane è una gara, quindi non vuole rischiare di fare robe strane. E nel frattempo ha inserito delle isometrie in posizione di split squat per rinforzare il tendine presuppongo del quadricipite, e ha visto che non le ha risolto il problema, però si è stabilizzato, nel senso non si sta aggravando e le permette di continuare a allenarsi con lo squat, quindi questo è il piano per ora. E dopodiché, dopo la gara, ovviamente la sua priorità diventerà quella di cercare di guarire, di star meglio, e a quel punto mai fare anche delle terapie, dei trattamenti o delle modifiche. Io le avevo chiesto se avesse mai provato, per il discorso ginocchio, a togliere la scarpa col tacco, che immaginavo usasse, e metterla sulla piatta, che di solito dà un po' di sollievo, però non lo può fare, sia perché appunto c'è la gara tra poco, e sia perché fa fatica se no a prendere la profondità, quindi in questo momento non può farlo. Però mi diceva che potrebbe essere un'opzione post gara, valutare mai di cambiare un po' la stance o cambiare un po' qualcosa, per vedere di dare un po' di sollievo, insomma, e di recupero alle articolazioni e alle strutture. Oltre al discorso ginocchio, ha un po' di fastidio a una spalla, che suppongo sia la... Is the shoulder your left one?
Yeah.
Ok. Ha un po' di fastidio alla spalla sinistra, che va avanti da tanto tempo, va avanti da un paio d'anni, e non sa bene cosa sia, da cosa sia dovuto. Parlavamo che forse dalla posizione dello bar, forse nella panca, perché comunque lei ha le braccia molto lunghe, e spesso le persone con le braccia molto lunghe poi si trovano con delle posizioni molto scomode nello bar, o comunque anche nella panca, devono scendere molto col gomito, quindi la spalla va molto in estensione, e insomma è più vulnerabile, la posizione è più delicata, e a volte dà fastidio. Lei ha circa un paio d'anni che c'ha questo problema, però gestibile. Parlavamo anche di come potesse essere un'opzione l'utilizzo della safety squat bar per gestire queste cose qui, con la spalla, nel senso che chiaramente semplifica molto la posizione dello bar, e magari gli può dare un sollievo. Non l'ha mai provata, ha detto che ci farà un pensiero per più avanti, e che è timorosa, perché sa che tutti si lamentano della safety bar, e infatti spesso si fa molta fatica, soprattutto all'inizio, e soprattutto con persone con le sue proporzioni corporee. Però insomma è una cosa che, per uno che adesso parlo in generale, non mi permetterei di dare consigli a lei, però per persone con caratteristiche simili alle sue, quindi leve lunghe, che hanno fastidio alla spalla in panca e ogni tanto nello squat lo sentono un po' così, la safety bar secondo me aiuta molto, potrebbe essere sicuramente un'opzione per l'off season. Poi abbiamo parlato più in generale di come il powerlifting e l'allenamento con i pesi in generale, ma soprattutto il powerlifting, ha il grosso problema che si batte sempre le articolazioni, i tendini, i tessuti nelle stesse posizioni, nello stesso modo, negli stessi angoli, e quindi si è più proni, diciamo, agli infortuni da sovraccarico, perché colpisci il tessuto sempre allo stesso modo senza mai dargli tregua, e quindi è una soluzione furba per la longevità della carriera di un atleta, quello anche di magari, soprattutto lontano dalle gare, modificare un po' qualcosina, cambiare un po' la stance, magari passare da low bar ai bar, o insomma fare dei cambiamenti in modo da dargli un po' di tregua ai tessuti e allenarli anche da altri angoli. All right. So, have you thought about anything?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, I thought about it, but I'm not like coming onto any ideas.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure afterwards, when I lay in bed tonight, I'm gonna be like, oh, there was some more thing I wanted to discuss, but right now I don't think so.
Okay. So what are your prevision for your next competition in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. My numbers or?
No, both. The number, positioning. I guess I already know the positioning, but numbers wise?
Yeah, I had certain numbers in my mind which I really wanted to hit, but right now my prep isn't going the way I wanted it to be going with my knee. And also I had a pretty busy, stressful period with school and stuff. But I really want to hit a 500 total. And with the numbers, I don't know, but a 500 total will be nice. And place, I compete with Agatha. So
wait a moment. Why are you competing with Agatha?
It's the Euro Muscle Show. So it's an international competition, and there were a few people selected.
Oh shit.
And yeah. So it's on good lift points. I'm super excited, but also kind of scared to compete with her.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, no, she's definitely gonna win. I already know, but it's still a nice idea to be able to compete with like the strongest lifter in the world. So she's obviously predicted first, and then I'm second, and then there's another few people. I think there's about 20 people, maybe a little less than that. And it's all weight classes combined.
That's very interesting. I've already interviewed her here in the channel. She's training like crazy. I don't know how she can manage that much. I don't know if you watched the episode, but she trains with a big amount of volume. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen the episode, but I do notice like on Instagram, she grinds a lot. Her intensity, her volume are so much. And I think she does multiple SPD days a week.
Yeah. She's crazy. She trains 6 days a week.
Yeah. Wow.
And like 5-6 benches and a bunch of volume. It's crazy. Like double what normally people do. That's crazy. But to be fair, she has some very crazy leverages, and also she, she's young. You are also young, but she's not doing anything else apart from working out. So it's a little bit different. But the only girl that I know that trains something similar to her, but not in the same magnitude, is Carola Gara, the Italian girl.
Oh wow! I had no clue she trained that like intense.
Yeah, not in the same manner, but she's how can I say it? She's way different than average in the way she trains, because she trains a lot, very often, with a lot of specificity. Very few accessory work, but a lot of volume on squat, deadlift, bench, variations on that, a lot of hours of training. That's amazing.
Wow. No, I wish I could do it, but my body would fall apart if I tried it.
No.
So it's wow.
I'm not suggesting you to do so. I'm just reporting what other people do.
Sick. It's sick.
But you know what? In a sense, it's a good thing that you can be so strong without training that much. Because think about this. Think about the fact that maybe in a different scenario, in an hypothetical scenario, you have to train like 3 times more than what you're already doing to obtain the same result. How the hell are you going to making your life with studying wise, working wise, life, personal life? How is that possible? You can't study.
That's insane. But I can imagine Agatha trains for a very long time as well, because my SBD days take such a long time, and I only have one a week, so I can imagine she trains a lot of hours.
Yes, a lot. I don't exactly remember because it's been a long time, but I will check the episode. But she trains for a long time, a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah, and also I interviewed Chiara Bernardi, the other girl, the Italian girl from the 69, which she also was in the 63 before, and she also trained a lot. She trains a lot, but in a more human way. She trains for 4 days a week, but for like 3 hours, 3 hours and a half each time. Wow. And she trains at a very fast pace. I will never be able to train with such short rest times, intervals between sets. Yeah, because she's doing
like, oh, sorry.
Sorry. She's doing a lot of volume, a lot of frequencies, a lot of stuff, but only for 4 days. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Insane. But at least you know that she's prepared when she has a short competition. I mean, a short flight in her competition. Because I should really do more cardio probably. Because when the flight is short in competition, I'm like out of breath and I still need time to recover. Yeah, she won't have that problem.
Yeah, but you do what works for you, so don't mind others. Yeah. Well, so just one moment, I will translate this last part and we are done.
Yeah, perfect.
Abbiamo un attimino parlato, vabbè, abbiamo divagato parecchio, però abbiamo parlato un attimino di quanto tempo si allena, di previsioni per il suo prossimo, per la sua prossima gara e di come si allenano altre persone, perché lei fra 2 settimane ha una gara e nella stessa gara ci sarà anche Agatha Sitko. E allora abbiamo parlato un attimino sia delle sue previsioni, di cosa pensa di fare, sia di come si allenano altre ragazze. Allora, le previsioni per lei sono che probabilmente dice farà un secondo posto perché Agatha è quotata come prima e se tutto fila liscio per tutte e due, questo è quello che succederà. E lei ha come obiettivo di fare 500 di totale, lei intendo Betty ha come obiettivo 500 di totale. Siccome col ginocchio non sta benissimo, non è proprio al 100% soddisfatta, però comunque sarebbe contenta di fare 500 di totale. Detto questo, abbiamo fatto un po' il confronto con quanto si allenano altre ragazze e tutto sommato Betty si allena in maniera molto più conservativa sia come quantità che come frequenze perché non fa grandissimi volumi, non fa grandissime frequenze, fa cose abbastanza normali e non è che lo faccia per pigrizia, lo fa perché questo funziona su di lei e quando aumenta il volume soprattutto nello stacco insomma fa fatica a recuperare, quindi per lei funziona bene così. E facevamo 2 confronti, dicevamo che per esempio Agatha fa una quantità enorme di volume, cioè si allena praticamente il doppio di quello che si allena una persona normale. È anche vero che, ok, quella ragazzina lì è probabilmente non fatta della stessa materia delle altre persone, però c'è anche il fatto che sostanzialmente Betty ha anche altre cose nella vita da portare avanti, è una studentessa, fa altri impegni, cioè, già studiare full time ti porta via molto del tempo e energia, lei tra l'altro ha anche tutta la parte pratica del suo lavoro, e quindi si stanca anche fisicamente, quindi non ce la farebbe a fare di più. E in più stavamo parlando di come anche altre ragazze, che adesso non vorrei dire cose che mi sbaglio perché mai è passato un po' di tempo, non mi ricordo benissimo, però l'unica che conosco di ragazza che si allena con quantità molto elevate di volume, eccetera, è Carola Gara, che ho intervistato sul canale, potete vedere l'episodio perché magari potrei non ricordarmi benissimo tutto, però è l'unica che fa veramente tanto volume, soprattutto delle alzate da gara o varianti, in maniera diciamo nettamente superiore al resto delle altre persone, però comunque non raggiunge i livelli di Agatha. Agatha fa veramente una quantità enorme di tempo, anche perché fa più volte a settimana SBD che ti portano via una montagna, il tempo ti stancano tantissimo, e quindi sì, è un po' probabilmente un caso a parte. Vabbè, detto questo, probabilmente adesso chiudiamo l'episodio. Lei mi ha detto sostanzialmente che non ha neanche interesse a far di più allenamento perché questo è quello che recupera e questo è quello che funziona bene e direi che sta funzionando alla grande, perciò va benissimo così. All right. So Betty, I'm done with questioning you about things.
All right.
All right. So if you don't have anything else to say, we can call the day.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and I really enjoyed it. So it was very fun.
So
and I
now,
wish you.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say I wish you a nice day, and may we speak together.
All right, thank you. Listen, now that we are done with this, after everything is done,
yeah,
is it more or less? All right, you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I really thought it would be scary, and it would be very. It's not. It's really not.
Exactly as we thought. All right. So thank you for your time, Betty. Before going, where do people can find you?
I have an Instagram. It's called Betty Lifts, or Betty Deadlifts, and yeah, I have TikTok, but I rarely post on it, so I wouldn't. Yeah, you could follow me on there if you wanted, but there's nothing special.
All right. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.